Season 3 is back of Survivor's Remorse. You're at the right after show. It's that Survivor's Remorse after show. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We were just talking how this is like now the theme song now for whenever someone passes away. So shout out to
I'm just like, I can probably think of 10 more sadder songs, but I'm a roll with this one.
Right. What's going on, everybody? We are back. Survivor's Remorse is back. We're here for season 3 after show, of course. Tonight we'll be covering Night of the Crash as well as the ritual. But before we get into it, we are your after show for this series, Survivor's Remorse. I'm your host, Jimmy B. Make it all sad.
Sorry.
But I am your host, Jimmy V. Of course, I'm with the baddest crew here. We also have Princess, who's also with our crew, but she can't make it for those who tuned into us last season. So, of course, she will be back. But let me introduce my panel to my left.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Trene. And I got, if I had a lighter, I'd be lighting it, from the left to right. But yeah.
Where can they follow you?
I just said, you guys can follow me at your girl, Trene.
And of course, I am Gary Thomas. You follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everything, Snapchat, all those good things at I am Gary Thomas.
So obviously, this was a pretty tough episode to start a season on. But
can I just say before we get into that,
I just
how
want to
often does AfterBuzz get the same host 2 seasons in a row? Because I didn't quit a couple shows.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, wow.
But y'all get the best 4 people for Survivor's More a second season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we back.
Another season in a row.
And we live and die for this, man.
Yeah, man.
Do or die.
Family.
That's right.
But I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to let you finish, but
I was actually about to gloat because you guys know last season I said it was it for Uncle Julius. I called it, and it was actually it because he obviously died. So I'm just taking this time to, shine.
It just hurts to wonder because we don't know if it's true or not. If he quit the show to take Uncle Buck, which was canceled.
Trust me, I know.
The season even ended.
Did the after show.
Yeah. I like Mike Epps, but the first episode of Uncle Buck I couldn't get into, so it would really hurt if that was the reason he left the show, or whatever the case may be. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of inappropriate, but for me, I thought that maybe he would have popped up and been alive. That's what I was hoping.
That's what you were.
I wanted him not to be dead.
He was just gonna, we'll get into it. I'll tell you what I was thinking when the time came. But
I did do the after show for Uncle Buck, and I'm pretty sure they got Uncle Buck from the character Uncle Julius, and they just tried to make that into a show. So whether. Shout out to him.
That was a crash and burn.
Great job, yeah. But opportunities.
I wanted it to be good.
I did too. That's
but
why
the
I
character
was on
of Uncle Julius was like way better.
He was
way better. So
a lot cooler.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he did die. At least it didn't take the funny out though. That's what I thought.
What funny?
It was so much
this
serious.
It was a sad, empathetic episode, but at the same time, they still had their little jokes though.
Today's episode, that's what I didn't like.
Was what? They were trying to make a serious thing funny?
Yeah, it's like, I feel like, with Survivor's Remorse and with almost shows, you want to be able to connect with a character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have so many different characters that we're able to connect with. And at the moment that I'm like feeling a character's pain and I got the knot in my throat, here comes some cuss words and a kind of joke that kind of just snatches away, and it's just like, I wasn't ready for that, and I'm not in the mood to laugh because I want to take a moment to just feel for him and see how the characters are, building from this tragedy.
Okay.
There were definitely certain parts, I feel like Cam's character by far the most, you kind of felt the pain. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes you need to dive into that pain and see how they carry on through the season from this situation.
So you would have preferred it to have been like a little bit more like less. I agree because it was like moments where you wanted to sympathize, and then I found myself laughing.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to disagree with you just because I did like them still trying to bring the funny to a serious situation. But did you guys notice how dark the episode actually was? Like, I don't know if it was the lighting on set or something, but it was just very dark. There was a few scenes where it was showing Cam crying, but you couldn't really see it just because it was like a shadow. I don't know if you guys checked that out or not.
That is a good observation. I mean, it was pretty dark. Like, I expected maybe to see some lightning going, just very dramatic, but
some of that worked though. Like I think the scene where M. Chuck was crying, that darkness on one side of it, you kind of see the teardrop right here on her shirt. Yeah, it worked really well. But other times it was hard to watch because, like you said, just seeing it you couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah,
it was a lot of serious moments though. Like I was like when they were in the morgue. And Reggie.
That was in the whole Snapchat thing.
And I like that. I think it gives you time to feel for it. But what happens is in this show, they snatch the moment away from you so quick because they're trying to be comedic. Yeah. And it didn't flow for me. Sometimes I just want to, can I just be sad for a character?
Yeah.
Like I love when I'm watching something and like somebody dies or I see somebody crying and I want to cry too. It's like, man, this acting, this story, but they were so quick to just rip it right away. Like, let's laugh. Like, that the soft parts it just didn't hit for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So in the first episode, Night of the Crash, is pretty much the family understanding and coming to an agreement that Uncle Julius is actually dead. They kind of touched upon the nurse who came to deliver the actual news, and I guess she was too abrupt. She was too, up forward with it. Yeah, she is new and all, but is there a proper way to let a family know?
It was so awkward the way
definitely
the way that came in. It was like very weird. She's like, he's perished, and it was kind of
wrong choice of words.
What were they trying to do with that? I didn't understand what sort of direction they were trying to go with that because it was like, was this
trying to add comedy to
it just didn't seem believable.
She was actually a doctor. She was a med student, and perish is just a stupid word to use for a person. You can say he's no longer with us, he's passed away, he's moved on, but perish, that's like a item, it's not a person. So it was just awkward.
And it was awkward too. She's like, I don't want to do this, I don't want it was
like you gotta do it.
You're a doctor. Right.
It was like they try to make it like funny when that's not funny.
And I think that part where they were like having that back and forth was kind of like trying to mislead us. Like, they make us think that they're gonna go tell him that he's dead when he's really not. So I was thinking that the whole time, like, okay, they're just making it seem like they're gonna tell us that he's dead, but he's not really dead. And then he really was, and I was like, oh shit,
right?
Uncle Julius. You took him out the show?
How would you have told someone that? If you were a doctor, what would you have said?
That's why
I'm sorry, but he didn't make it.
Actually, I noticed though, in like movies and stuff, they always come over slow. We tried to do this, and then it's like they start to realize but we kept trying, and then it's like, just tell me, and it's like, okay, they died. No, so obviously it was a complete different way.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Julius he's no longer with us.
Perish.
Where'd he go?
Daggone box of macaroni.
Well, what we should do is actually do a quick character update, as this is episode 1 of season 3, to get an idea of where each character is and where they are going supposedly. So,
Uncle Julius is
gone, right?
That's going anywhere.
We've got Cam. He's still rocking with Allison, obviously. I think that is going to flourish into something like we always mention every season there. We'll see. M. Chuck is looking to...
Actually, you missed something with Cam. Cam has an option to opt out.
That is important.
So that's a very important thing.
Free agent.
Yeah, that's very important for this season. We may see some changes coming up with their living situation, teams he's on, whatever he chooses to do. So that's a big deal.
Long distance relationship, maybe. He might have to move away.
Threw that in there, like people weren't going to hear it. But us who watch the show, we pay attention to that.
I thought it was big. M. Chuck is looking to go to college. I liked how she said, I don't want to continue to live off my little brother's money, which you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, get your own life and do something.
I mean, we saw her last season picking up the trash and stuff, so it's
She was always getting into trouble.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see her on her like focused
on her independent shit.
Yeah.
Well, she was supposed to be part of his PR team, but no one knows what happened with that.
Maybe she might major in public relations.
Maybe. Maybe.
We've got Chen and the mother still going at it. I like Chen's character because he's like
a little more vocal now as far as his like relationship.
Definitely, he got lines up in this script, so
he got lines on top of lines.
But he is like the superhero for everyone. I mean, what Jed, he can come through for the family at every time. So I think his character is still pretty cool. We'll see where that goes exactly. Reggie's still on top of it. Everything money wise, I feel as far as Cam's life, he's still running it somewhat.
We kind of noticed that, with his family and his career, he's still just building up the talk about being himself, doing his own thing, building his family. So I like to hear that he's still trying to get to the point where he can focus on himself as well as have his career with Cam.
And speaking of family, he was getting it on with Missy. In the first episode there, so I feel like we saw a lot of sex, not a lot of sex scenes, but I feel like Survivor's Remorse does touch on that a bit. Is it good or bad?
It's a little sprinkle in there because I remember one season. I want to say it was the first season. Jesse, Cam had some
the floozy, yeah. That was first season.
First season. But I just thought it was kind of, I didn't really care for them to put in the sex while the accident was happening. I know they wanted to show that they were distracted and stuff, but
it's just the way they're hitting us with it.
It was weird.
The transitions were so drastic.
You know what? I just had a crazy thought. When we had a after show and it was Cam getting with the topless chick, you were like, I don't like how they tried to establish him as like a goody two shoes kind of, and then they switched it up, and then now we see where
now he's back to being good.
Right, exactly.
That feels kind of get annoying for me, and I like that he's kind of a good guy, and I like that in this episode, these episodes together, the way Reggie described him. Now that's Cam to me. He's looked out for so many people. He's spent his money on so many people.
That's real.
He puts others first, and to try to make him out to be a player, it just doesn't really fit. Yeah. But this relationship thing, this fits that character. And I think they had to take a little bit of time in the writing to really establish what the people wanted to see, how they connected with Cam, the character, in order to really hone into what they were going to write for him, the type of lines, the way they describe him, the type of person he's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's matured a lot.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah.
I mean, because I understand how they would put like the topless chick on top of him because they're kind of showing like, oh, he's like
the young basketball player.
First time he's like getting into the big leagues, he's like on top of the world, and now he's got a topless chick on top of him. So
wow. I remember him flipping out over the smallest things, and obviously this was a deep episode. So I just wonder if we are going to continue to see that immaturity in him, or if he's actually grown and changed. Which I think just the fact that he's got Allison in his life now, that it's just showing a whole different light now.
I think that it's going to be good to see how that unravels over the entire season, because we still don't know Allison. We haven't seen her character fully develop yet.
Yeah.
And they made a good point. Like, he bought her a car with them only knowing each other for a month. Like, when M-Chuck was like, he's only known this girl that was actually Missy that said that he's only known this girl for a month. Like, why is he getting her a car? And
it wasn't like he got her like a Corolla,
a Cadillac, Escalade,
a little Civic something, but Escalade. But you went all out. Like, that's quite a gesture. And it's not the most expensive car in the world, but that's a pretty, not a $30,000 car, $20,000 car, he went out.
There was a point in this episode where both Cam and Allison started to blame themselves for the accident because of the new car. What do you guys think? Is that
Isn't that
a natural thing to kind of feel?
It makes them feel. It makes them human for us, because you always gonna think the what if when someone passes, like what if I did this or what if I noticed this, or, like it was right in my face, or did I not notice? That makes them human, and I think that helps us connect with these characters.
Yeah. Reggie actually made a great line because Jesse said, if it wasn't for me, if I never purchased the car, he'd have never got into it. And then like Reggie said, if you never got signed, he'd have never been in Atlanta. So it just kind of put the whole thing in a perspective that it's just not his fault at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Reggie said a lot of great things this episode, but he was also one of the biggest dicks of this episode.
You think so?
Just he lacked so much empathy.
I think it fit, yeah, because he was tough and this strong.
Like, we can't bring this person. We're not gonna bury him and F this, F that, F boss. Like, bruh, somebody passed. Like that, and that's another thing I'm saying. Snatching this away from the viewers. Like, somebody just passed. This was your uncle. He was a father figure to you. You all were close. Like, this is a family that's only 4 or 5 of them. They're very close knit.
Yeah.
If something like in reality, there is not a joking moment in this situation, So it just, he was really extreme in all the things he was saying, and just worried about all the wrong things.
Yeah, he kind of worries about all the things that the other family members aren't going to worry about. He's like thinking of like, okay, so if this person comes, how is it going to be? Who's going to mess something up? Who's going to be asking for money? I mean, I totally understand where he was coming from in that situation because, there has been like moochers that have come back from Boston and you don't really know people's intentions.
You don't, but I think that there are times where Reggie forgets to take off his manager hat and be a cousin.
I agree.
He needs to have to feel for balance. And like the moment where they, he turns back around and embraces Cam, they have this hug. Like, we need to see that part of Reggie, because although you work with him, you're managing his career and doing all those things, but at the end of the day, remember, you're still blood, you're still family. He needs you in other ways than just business.
So maybe you might see why he acts like that. Yeah. Like, he kind of...
That'd be good to develop it, like something to see. Yeah.
Withdrawals and stuff from the family dynamic. He's more gets into like manager mode all the time.
Right, for everybody. Like, managing Cassie, managing M-Chuck. Like, he's always like trying to, oversee their ideas and their lives. And it's like, first of all, you're Cam's manager. Cam's manager only. You're family to them. And, we just need to see more of that. So maybe we will learn later on why he's like that.
There was a scene that Cam showed his frustration and he got the Cadillac on fire. He posted that. And then I think that was the wrap of the first episode or whatever the case.
I think so.
My thoughts on it was the whole idea with the burning car within the driveway. When it made that boom, if that's an actual car, it's gonna do some type of explosion.
To your house and the houses
they were
around
about 10 feet away and nothing really happened. So I just thought it was a good idea, a bad execution of that.
And why are we burning a new car? They ain't the one to kill Uncle Julius.
Well, I wouldn't want to drive
when you got
in a
money
reminder.
To blow.
I mean, I wouldn't want to like have a car, a sense of a reminder of like something that may have caused a death. Yeah, the Escalade wasn't the one that got in the accident, but it was the cause of it because, like you just want to burn something. If you got money like he does, maybe he just doesn't care to burn a car. But me personally, I wouldn't want to wake up and see the car that kind of started all this.
But we're not burning cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it was a stress reliever for him. He was all sad.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's why he put the car on fire. Yeah.
Music video.
Extreme. Yeah.
Way extreme, but
that's when you got money to spend.
They wanted to make it super dramatic for the viewers.
They tried it.
They did. So that was pretty much the first episode there, in the ritual, which was the next episode. I did want to speak about, have you guys ever heard of the Chinese tradition, when a person dies, they take down all the mirrors so they don't see, and they mourn for 49 days or so?
No, but they do have a lot of other ones, with the money, putting the money away.
I did, yep.
That one.
I did hear about that too.
I've heard about that one. Yeah. But I've never heard of when someone passes, you don't have a mirror in your house because you might see the coffin and then that could bring death. I've never heard of that.
So. I liked how they gave different cultures, how they react
religions,
to death, because that's educating to us.
Right, because we saw from the Christian standpoint, very judgmental. Then we seen from the Catholic point that they kind of brought in, okay, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you come from, you can be Catholic. And then Chinese, you know, they have a belief of superstitions, I feel like, but that's also for Catholic churches as well. There's a lot of superstitions and beliefs. So yeah, it was interesting to kind of see that.
Yeah, I did kind of like how they put how the family started receiving all different types of gifts from random people that they don't even know. But
you get fed when somebody dies.
Exactly. But I do think that's a part of the healing process. You know, you get all these gifts that I guess supposed to help out the situation, but it doesn't really fulfill that loss. So
would you want that?
Would I?
Like
No.
I want anything to make me feel better, and I'm not talking about like drugs or anything.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I
want all the love at.
I mean, that's
point.
not love. I mean, it's just it's for me. I guess I feel like I get you're in a situation and everybody's it's gonna be okay. Well,
Like,
look,
you
I know
don't
it's gonna be
know.
okay. I mean, I got the Jesus. I know it's gonna be okay. I want to hear your stupid. It's gonna be okay.
But if they bring you a pie, like, we want to.
My condolences.
Yeah.
Thanks for satisfying my sweet tooth, but that is not gonna bring anybody back.
That's
you know,
right.
just it's different ways to show love. Without that type of thing. Some support, some being there, some helping, a good hug.
Yeah.
Is love. But I don't need your raggedy
Gifts,
ass
though, no.
veggie lasagna.
And your edible
Right,
arrangement.
edible arrangement. Like, I would rather you see your face at the door. Like,
That's true, yeah.
Show up. Don't just send me some. Show up. Like, being there is so much more important.
And
They could have got together as a community and signed a card, and that would have been enough.
Right.
Okay, I'm accepting all the gifts, so that's fine. We got into a situation where Uncle Julius should be buried, either Boston or ATL. What do you guys think? I'm thinking Boston. They should have done.
I think Boston as well.
Boston, hometown.
I understood the reasoning for Atlanta is to being able to visit him often, being that he was happy there.
Yeah.
But Boston would have been better, and they may not be in the ATL for too much longer. We don't know.
That's right, according to the season. So,
But Reggie did make a good point that was where he was the happiest at, and that, I mean, it made a lot of more sense to have it in Atlanta anyway. Just, I think it would have been too much if they would have had to transport his body to Boston. Like, I just feel like it would have been like way too much.
Well, no.
They got it.
I don't think money's.
I mean,
yeah.
that would have been like, I don't know. I don't really feel like it was going to be necessary to have it in Boston. Like, of course, people transport bodies anywhere they want to, but I just think it wasn't necessary because, Cam was getting ready to play the game. He still wanted to play the game. So it would just brought in a whole different, like, feeling of what the episode was really initially supposed to be about.
Flying home?
I mean, yeah, they could have flew home, but then you'd have all these like random characters coming into play. Like,
that's how if they wrote it. Like, first of all, let's be real. I think that they make Cam out to be a little bit more famous than he actually is. Mm-hmm. Now, Beyonce can go back to Houston for her uncle's funeral. Cam can go back to Boston for Uncle Julius's funeral. Okay, you're not quite on that level. Let's tone it down a bit and say like. Let's bring some. I think that's a part of what makes him human. His roots. They don't allow him to go back to Boston because Reggie's always like,
It's
Money.
like they gave up on
money,
it.
moochers.
Yeah.
This is where he's from. You still got family there. You still have ties there. Your school is there. Just life as you learned it is there.
That's right.
So let's not be so removed from it, especially in a time like this. Uncle Julius was born and raised, lived there. That's his hometown. His friends are there. Atlanta is not. I definitely understood the reasonings why they did Atlanta, but I wouldn't have been mad at Boston.
Me neither. That's exactly what I was speaking of. But you did make a great point. He did have a game that same week, that same day. He drops 51 points, one of his greatest games that he drops. And then he delivered a great speech about Uncle
Amazing speech.
Julius, which was very touching. Shout out to Jesse, because I'm sure I don't know what type of practices that you got to do to be able to, one, teach yourself how to cry on point, and then two, be able to stay in that. But he did a great job.
It was really good. I really thought that what he was saying about the uncle and just like, him coming into the household as like that male figure. Mm-hmm. It was true because like Uncle Julius was like that uncle that was kind of like, he wasn't trying to be your dad.
Right.
But he was more
of a
so
friend,
like
but
your homie. Like you can smoke some weed with him. You can, get
but
some
he's still
advice.
imparted wisdom on
right.
you, yeah.
And he's still going to give you like his like own background and experience and like put his own touch on it and stuff.
I'm going to miss him during this season.
Uncle Julius was the funniest thing about the dad.
He was
season.
the funny, yes.
He was the funny.
And I like how they put the flashbacks.
I love
of
those, especially the one in the car.
I did,
the
yeah.
car,
Yeah,
that was
funny.
really, really, really
Them
nice.
words he made up. that Jerry girl,
So that was good. I did like how at the end of this episode here, everybody's mourning, everybody's crying, but then they were like, if Uncle Julius was here, he'd want us to turn up, so let's turn up.
Y'all better turn up a lot right
I'm saying,
you better
when
have a
it's
cup
my
of
time,
Hennessy in your hand. You better be
I don't want
lit.
no tears, okay? I just want everybody having a good time.
Right.
That's what I want.
Exactly. You gotta celebrate. I don't think we celebrate life enough.
Yeah.
I think we hurt. We definitely hurt when we lose somebody, but just remembering the good things. And I think the flashbacks were such a good time to look back at the funny we had in the past 2 seasons that we're not gonna have this season.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was good for us.
I really wanted. I thought. I know we're talking about the second one, but when the first episode when they were in the morgue, I thought that it was gonna be a different body. Like I thought that was gonna be like the plot twist. Like they went in and it was like, wait, that's not even Uncle Julius. But
I think you're right because nothing about this we wanted it to be real. None of us really wanted Uncle Julius to be gone, so we were still in our minds thinking that there's gonna be a plot twist. They're bringing this character back, but they didn't. They really took this one out.
Which actually, going back to that situation, right before they went to go view the body, Allison was really vouching like, "Hey Cam, I want to stick with you. I don't want to let you go at this time, whatever the case is." Is there anything that she can do to help him in that situation?
I am 100% about just being there for somebody, and I think she could have pushed a little bit harder. For a second, I thought that we were going to see
felt
him.
like he was trying to push her.
Yeah, I thought that the rest of the episode and these 2 episodes we were going to see him drawing back from her because of the situation.
Yeah.
It kind of set me up to think that I'm like, oh man, he's going to be pulling away because he's in his mind somewhat blaming her.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. There
But
you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't happen that way. But like I said, she could have fought a little bit more.
I
like,
thought that
listen,
she was gonna end up like going over to his house at nighttime and just like cuddle with him or something. Like just the part where he was like in the bed or whatever and he's like can't sleep.
Tossing
like I thought
and turning.
maybe
She
he would have
should have been
called
there.
her and be like, or she would have called him and be like, babe, like I want to come over. I just want to be with you right now. Like I thought that would have been really cute to see. Just kind of her supporting him.
Like, we have not really seen what Allison is like.
It's been
You got your own job and ain't interested in money, but who else are you? Like, are you that chick? Are you that chick? That's are you invested in this relationship? Because I feel like we don't see her fight, and then she shows up to the game looking like plain Jane. I'm just saying, if you're gonna show up to my game, can you
gotta be stunting on them. You gotta stunt on them, right?
Stunt on them.
Well, she doesn't want to be this like woman who's behind him and who's like on his tail.
She wants her own lane. She wants everything.
That don't mean you can't stunt.
Like, when you come into the game to represent me,
you come into the game.
Point.
Tickets at will call.
Ask box office.
The tickets in the envelope. You getting the box seat. You getting the complimentary food. All of that. You better have your nice fit on.
You can't say, even if beyond your significant other, you showing up to support a friend or anybody, you not coming in something.
You're not coming in looking your top best.
Right. And you had me come to your show or your game. I'm like, oh, that's my homie. I gotta show up.
Gary makes a great point, okay? Gary makes a great point.
Y'all invite me somewhere to support you, I'm showing up, okay?
It would have just been perfect, though, like, if it would have started raining, and then all of a sudden she, like, came over, and she was, like, all soaking wet from the rain, and she's like, Cam, like, you know? Like, I want to be with you. Like, it would have been more. I would have been like, this is love right here.
She's
like,
just not there.
Y'all
yet.
want some notebook stuff.
She's just not there for me. Like, she's not there for him. Like, she's still kind of drawn back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe later on we're going to season that he might realize she's kind of.
Let's go into predictions. Woo! Let's see what we have for season 3 then.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
So Kim and Allison has to do some work.
Oh, yeah.
She got to show me she worthy.
word.
Yeah, she got to show me something. Yeah,
I mean, because Cam done bought the car, you know.
Cam be showing up at the job.
Right, he be doing it all.
Cam be showing out, okay?
Mm-hmm. And it's not being received back, so hopefully in season 3, we'll see her do something.
Before I say my prediction, we missed to even mention that we found out that Uncle Julius was homeless.
Uncle Julius wasn't homeless. He wasn't homeless. He was lying.
He's like, you think I was alive?
With the preacher.
Out back. On that Pablo.
Oh, so he wasn't, okay.
On that
so he was just
Escobar.
hanging out at the homeless shelter.
He was getting lit with the preacher.
with the preacher. Like, with the priest, yeah.
With the priest, like, come
That's
on.
funny.
Uncle Julius wasn't no type
That
of
boy
homeless in there.
lives in a mansion. Come on, man.
He's like, but the way that the pastor, the preacher
Uncle
said,
Julius
he's like,
was homeless.
you know, he was homeless. I didn't know he volunteered.
Cassie was like, oh, mother.
I think it just showed how reckless Uncle Julius was.
I wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face like Cassie. I would have fell out laughing.
Right.
What?
He done tried it.
He tried it. Like, he tried everybody's life in the whole building.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my prediction is there's probably going to be some person that comes back from Boston and that tries to mess up the relationship between Allison and Jesse. The relationship isn't going to be harmonious all throughout the season. And then I do think that we're going to see M. Chucks. She's going to be like stepping up on her grown woman stuff with this college, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see her like go to college. She's a bit older. It's not like she's like, you know, young going into college. She's kind of like just kind of getting back into the education part. So that's going to be funny to see.
I definitely agree there's going to be rifts in relationships this season. I think that's going to be a good focus between Allison and Cam. I definitely think it's going to be probably Allison's fault because she really hasn't shown up, unless that changes, but I don't think she's showing up right now, so there'll be the rift there. I think that in Missy's quest to find a new job and kind of find herself, and, you know, there might be some pull on wanting to have the baby, that there'll be a rift between her and Reggie.
Yep.
And I just think that, you know, without Uncle Julius as being the comedic glue, I think it's going to be a different vibe for the viewers. As you know, we may not find it as funny. Just, you know, there'll be some changes in the family dynamic because he's not there.
Did you find that they're trying too hard to bring that funny aspect, like the part where Jimmy's part, like smoking weed with the people? You
guys have always known me to say I thought that the cussing was so over, like forcing our face,
overboard.
Like, it was overboard. So they're gonna try to find comedic relief from that, and it's just not really gonna work.
Yeah, because they're like.
Like, bro, all y'all look like some fucking dicks. Like, nobody looks like they really get high, okay?
Fading for the camera. I think, actually, if you guys remember, we did have Alan Maldonado on the show last year. I know that he is a part of the writing process now this season as well. Oh. So we will definitely see some change within the writing, but I think he'll bring some good. If you guys remember, he did play the co-manager of the
football player.
the other football player. He did a great job on that.
I think that our viewers should really be. I'm looking dead at y'all right now.
Look
Be
at
really excited because we're gonna have some great guests this season. We're gonna have some really great content this season. And it's because you guys keep watching us and supporting us and giving your opinions as well. So people are really excited for Survivor's Remorse just after the show and just being supportive. So thank you guys and just keep watching because we have so many things this season that are gonna be great.
I know. If you guys have any suggestions on like different things we can do during the show to just bring even more fun to it, let us know. Let us know in the comment box. Like, we will listen to you. I'll listen.
I listen. Hey, I check them. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. But I'm excited for this season. I just hope they continue to bring the funny because that's why I like it so much. Especially on Starz, you can do so much more stuff compared to on like local TV.
Right.
You can't do all that stuff, but we just gotta wait and see, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, guys. So that is episode 1 and 2 of season 3 of Survivor's Remorse. We are excited. Thank you for tuning in with us. Make sure to come back next week. I'm your host, Jimmy V. I can be found on all the social medias at Be Your Own Dad. My blog, beyourowndad.blogspot.com. Always stay updated. Make sure you check that out.
And what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Trene. I like Instagram a lot, so why don't you go follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at your girl, Trene.
And I am Gary Thomas, and of course you can find me on all social media at I am Gary Thomas, and of course I am GaryThomas.com.
And that is your cast for Survivor's Remorse. Make sure you guys tune in, like, comment, share. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.